Hello and welcome to episode 1 of this England career mode save on FIFA 18 with me, Bromo18. It is good to be back once again, and this is a little bit of a trial really. If the episode doesn't go down too well, the series doesn't really catch light, then we won't bother continuing with this save. It's just, as I say, a trial just to see how it goes. Nevertheless, something a little bit different. For anyone subscribed to the channel, you may or may not have seen my Bristol Rovers career mode save, which we did a few episodes on, maybe 5 or 6. But in the end, we had a problem with that, is that in the first couple of episodes I was using a different microphone. The quality wasn't as good as the one I'm using now. So a lot of people who were viewing the first episode were sort of falling away because, you know, we wasn't able to keep them coming back to watch more episodes because the microphone quality most probably put them off, which wasn't great. So yeah, we want to really start something different. We might revisit the Bristol Rovers career mode save at some point, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, nevertheless, welcome to my new career mode save, which will be with England, purely with England, and we will be doing, as it says in the title, scenarios in this career mode. So for example, I will use a fruit machine. It'll be full of different scenarios, and at the end of each episode, or maybe throughout the episode, we'll see how it goes. We'll go onto the fruit machine, see which scenario comes up, and then we'll have to go along with that, and that will affect our career mode in some way. So yeah, really looking forward to doing that. As you can see here, we got the offer from England. I use the international management offer in the catalogue. If you don't know that that's there, it is there, so go and check that out if you wanted to do something similar. So we're going to go ahead and accept that offer. The objectives are to reach the quarterfinal of both the World Cup and the European Championship. Obviously, the World Cup in Russia is next, so really looking forward to that. I randomly picked Roda JC in the Eredivisie. For those of you who don't know, that's in Holland. Just a random. I won't be playing any of their games. We'll sim throughout that, and we'll just be looking at the international side of things. If we have a quick look at the side here from what we've got to look at so far, this was the base team, so to speak, and pretty standard really. You know, not too much to look into at the moment. We'll see how it goes in terms of the formation. Obviously, plenty of players are going to grow as well. So, yeah, we're going to have a look at that and see how it goes. But, I mean, there's a few notable absences here. Joe Hart is one. I mean, Tom Heaton's been injured in real life for a few months. So, I'm not sure why he's in there and Joe Hart isn't. But, yeah, as I say, we'll go along with it. So, yeah, we're going to simulate to the first national squad selection now, which will be at the end of August. We're currently at the start of August, and then see how it goes from there. I'll decide whether or not we'll do a scenario, but yeah, let's wait and see. So I'll be back shortly. Okay guys, we are back, and it is squad submission day for our first round of fixtures. They are actually World Cup qualifiers, and this is the squad that we are going to go for. So the three goalkeepers: Tom Heaton, Jack Butland and Jordan Pickford. I mentioned Joe Hart originally. Now, I was going to put him in the squad, but I found out he has actually been severely hacked down. Only 79 rated in terms of the new update. So, no, we're sticking with the three goalkeepers that have served us well in terms of the rating. Heaton, Butland and Pickford 79 and 281s. Then the fullbacks are two right backs, Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier. Nathaniel Klein was an option, but I do just prefer Kieran Trippier, to be honest. I think he's more balanced, and obviously high work rate as well as the 4-star weak footer. Can also play right wing back. We're actually going to go for a 3 at the back, by the way. I should make that clear now, which is why you might see so many centre backs as part of the setup. Then at left back, Danny Rose and Ryan Bertrand, pretty standard really. There's not a whole lot more of options that we can go for. Luke Shaw is there, as you can see, also Leighton Baines, but no, I think these are these two are the best options. Then at centre back we have Gary Cahill, Michael Keane, John Stones, Ben Mee and Chris Smalling. Obviously Eric Dyer is there as well, but I am actually going to play him in central midfield, holding midfield, which is why I'm not including him in this part. Again, pretty self-explanatory, really. Phil Jones was the only one along with Harry Maguire, actually, who could have seen themselves in the lineup, but I've decided to go for these instead. Me in particular, obviously, he'll be getting his debut for England should he get played, which will be a pretty big milestone for him. Just to be better in terms of physically than Harry Maguire, which is the reason why I've opted for him. Excuse me, that's Jermaine Defoe. If we just go down to Harry Maguire, you can see there's a big difference there. So yeah, I wanted to retain that in terms of physicality. Obviously, the centre backs, if we are playing a three at the back, are going to be slightly more open in terms of being exploited to attackers. So yeah, I want to keep it as physical as possible. So definitely, and the others are pretty self-explanatory. They've been in the England setup for a while now. So yeah, onto the midfield. The central midfielders will be Eric Dyer, as we mentioned, Jordan Henderson, Jack Wilshere, Danny Drinkwater, and actually, yeah, we'll stick with that. It is those players. Rooney was an option, but I'm not going to call him up and keep this as realistic as possible. Obviously, he has retired in real life. He didn't play in those. In the games that were played at this time in real life, so we're gonna keep it there. He may make a return for the World Cup, but we will see. I don't want to look too far ahead at the moment. So yeah, again, Drinkwater's probably the biggest shock here, but again, there wasn't a lot of other options. I mean, Barkley was originally in the side. He doesn't do enough for me to warrant the call up, and after that, we are sort of struggling. Jack Corker saw himself get a call up recently, but definitely prefer Drinkwater. Otherwise, I think those are pretty self-explanatory. Onto the attack midfield, we have Dele Alli and Adam Lallana, both very talented footballers. Dele Alli in particular, I think it's pretty obvious he's going to be the man in that position. We could have had Jesse Lingard, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain possibly, but these two are definitely the best candidates, and they will get the call up. So onto the strikers now. Obviously, we have the main man himself, Mr. Kane. I mean, you can't not have him in your England side, really, can you? Or any other side for that matter. Obviously, he's there and he will be starting. We have Sterling. I mean, I'm not quite sure why I've picked him, to be honest. I mean, it's purely for the rating, maybe to get you out of danger with his physical stats, because I don't really think he's going to fit into my system. But at the end of the day, it's risky not to play him, so we'll go with it. We have Vardy, again, pacey. He scores goals, scored a few for England, and obviously many for Leicester. And Antonio as well, who's not just a forward option, but more of a midfield option as well. He's high work rate, 4-star, and obviously he's very good in terms of his physical stats and his technicals as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it. This is the squad that we'll be going with. We have submitted it, and there we go. In the calendar, in terms of the fixtures, we have Portugal to play in the group stage, and also Bulgaria. In fact, I'm going to have a look now, just in terms of the tables, where everything is. So yeah, we have actually qualified. We can still finish second, unless we can win one of our games or get a draw against Portugal. So that's still something a little bit to play for, but yeah, we are qualified, and it's just a way of seeing really where the squad's at and what formation we're going to be going with. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'm now going to simulate up until the first fixture against Portugal, and then I will rejoin you. So I will see you shortly. Okay guys, so welcome back. The day is upon us. We do have Portugal away. A draw will see us qualified in first place for the World Cup. But first, we have the lineup. Now, before we go into it, I just want to talk about the structure of the episode. Now, the scenarios are coming. I've decided I'm going to do one game today, which is this one against Portugal. Then we're going to have a scenario at the end of the episode, which will lead on to the next episode, should it happen. And that depends on the reception that this episode gets. And then that episode will contain the other fixture in this international break, and then the next two as well. So the scenario will take effect for those 3 games, or the next episode essentially. So we're going to do that at the end of the video. But first of all, let's talk about the matter at hand, and that is the team. So this is the formation I've gone with, as you can see. And it's a fairly standard team, not too many surprises. Actually, we've gone for the, I mean, it could be classed as 5 at the back, but Walker and Rose will be playing in a very attacking style. So I'm going to class it as a 3 at the back. So more of a 3-4-1-2 formation. So yeah, we've got Tom Heaton in goal. Definitely my favourite goalkeeper for England. And he's our top rated as well, so we've stuck with him. Then at the back we've got Keane, Cahill and Stones. Stones and Keane on the outside purely because they're a bit more pacey and they're better on the ball as well, so they can bring it out and get it up to the attacking players. The fullbacks much easier. And then at fullback we have Danny Rose and Kyle Walker. Again, fairly standard, nice and pacey, very attacking. In the centre mid positions we have Jordan Henderson and Eric Dyer. Dyer's going to be our more defensive minded player. We've got him staying back, he's going to protect the defence. Also John Stones does have licence to get forward and join the attack as per our player instructions, so Dyer can fit in and replace him in that position, just rotate if Stones should decide to come out at any point. And Henderson's our box-to-box player as well, he'll support both ends. Then in the number 10 role we have Dele Alli. Again, very straightforward decision. It was always going to be him. He's just a very good player, and he'll get himself into the box, make a nuisance of himself. He's also going to be roaming around as well, giving him license to free roam essentially, which is what the instruction says. And then that will support these two up front, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford. Again, you've got both, you're covering both areas here, you know, obviously you've got the pace in Rashford and the skill, and then you've also just got the quality and strength of Kane as well. So yeah, it was fairly easy. On the bench we've got Pickford, Smalling, Trippier, Bertrand, Jack Wilshere, Mikel Antonio and Jamie Vardy, which leaves these 5 left out, but nevertheless they may still see action in the other game in the international break. But this is the team we're going with. It's what I believe is the strongest possible side, so yeah, we're gonna go with that. Just a quick look at the tactics. In terms of the, I've gone for a custom tactic. It's going to be very high pressure, high tempo. As you can see, the pressure's on 100. Lots of aggression, high speed in the build-up play as well. You know, I think that's England's main strengths, to be honest. I think, you know, we shouldn't really be looking to try and control the tempo of games. We're not that sort of team. You know, I think you leave that to the likes of Spain and Italy, etc. You know, I think our strengths do come in our pace, our energy, our physicality. So that's what we should be using to our advantage. So we'll hit teams on the break, we'll press them high at the pitch, depending on, you know, how the game folds. You know, so we'll look at that, and these are the player instructions. Won't bore you too much of these, but just a quick overview really. You can have a look at them there. Pretty self-explanatory really. I've gone through them when talking about the teams and the role as well. Gary Cahill will be captain. Eric Dyer was our best free kick taker, only on 77, which isn't great, but you know, it will do. And then likes of Henderson taking corners, etc. So yeah, looking forward to it. Finally, it is time to get into the game. So Portugal hadn't even touched the ball yet before it ended up in the back of the net. 4 minutes into the game, and England do go 1-0 up. Kane's bicycle kick doesn't quite come off, but Dele Alli is there to feed on the scraps of the rebound, and it is 1-0 to England. A lovely cross from Danny Rose after a nice through ball. Kane shrugs off his man well, but his bicycle kick is less than impressive. But thankfully Dele Alli, although over dramatises it, manages to get the rebound, and thankfully it is 1-0 to England with only 4 minutes gone in the game. What a start. Some nice work down the middle leads to Henderson being put through, but he's unable to capitalise on the chance, and it is straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Portugal finally show a bit of threat towards our goal in the 25th minute when Adair manages to shrug off his man after some poor defending from me, but it is a nice save from Tom Heaton to parry the shot out wide. Their threat is short-lived though, as Henderson wins a ball just outside of our box and we manage to hit Portugal on the counter-attack. Ali is always looking for that run from Kane. He finally peels away from his man, and it is a lovely finish. Harry Kane does not miss one-on-one chances, especially ones that come that easily. He peels away from his man nice. The marking isn't the best, but nevertheless it's still a really good break attack. Dele Alli finds him well, and it is a sublime finish, neatly done from Harry Kane. Half-time is approaching, but that doesn't stop England from putting it on Portugal and threatening their goal once more. Kane is put through by Dyer. He only has Rashford on offer in the box, finds him with a nice cross, and it is a bullet header into the right-hand side of the goal from Marcus Rashford, who finally gets himself on the score sheet just before half-time, and it is starting to turn into a rout for England. We're not even into the second half yet, and it's already 3-0 away as well. Portugal fans show their discontent with the boos, but England fans are in dreamland. So into the second half now, and a free kick by Portugal taken by none other than CR7 himself. England tried to clear it away, but it's not very good defending in the end, and Guerrero is slotted through as the defender loses him. I think it's Kyle Walker, and that makes it 3-1. So Portugal have a slight shout with 20 minutes or so to go, and they'll really try and push us now, or so we expected. However, their joy was short-lived. Straight from kickoff, no less. Kyle Walker has a nice little 1-2 with Jordan Henderson down the right-hand side. He sees the run of Rashford, and it's a fantastic volley into the top right-hand corner. Peels away from his man. It's a lovely finish. He keeps it down well, and it rockets into the top of the net. And England are back with the 3-goal deficit. 4-1 it is in the 74th minute. This once again is more evidence of how the break attack was working so well for us. Henderson once again teaming up with Walker well. Kane and Rashford both on the run. Walker ends up finding Kane. Rashford, who's on his hat-trick, peels away from his man in the box, and despite the fact that it is a shin roller, as you'll see on the replay, he manages to slot it in, and that completes his hat-trick, and that makes it 5-1 to England. An emphatic scoreline so far. As you can see here, it just rolls down his shin as it comes into him, but somehow he manages to place it that well into the far corner, and it is 5-1, and that is his hat-trick. A disappointing goal for us to concede now. I tried to play it out with Gary Cahill. I have no idea why. Andre Silva pounces on it onto Michael Keane, and it is a good finish in the end, but nevertheless a poor one to concede on my behalf. I have no idea why I tried to play it out from the back. Just get rid of it. There's no way that can ever, any good can ever come of that, but nevertheless I tried to do it anyway, and it is still a nice finish from Andre Silva. Don't take anything away from that, but nevertheless he shouldn't have had the opportunity to do that in the first place. Ronaldo gets put through one-on-one late on, but somehow doesn't even hit the target. And that rounds off all the action from the game against Portugal. An emphatic 5-2 win, and Marcus Rashford deservedly taking home the match ball after a brilliant performance from himself, near perfect. And that led the table looking something like this. With only one game to play, 8 points clear of Portugal in first place, who they were in second, and 15 points clear of Slovenia. What a way. Well, in all fairness, obviously we didn't earn that, we've only beat Portugal, but still, nevertheless, what a way to qualify. Only one draw. I have no idea who the draw came against. My immediate reaction would be that it was to Portugal, but nevertheless it doesn't matter. Top on goal difference, top on everything really, but we have one thing to do before we go, and that is the scenarios to choose from. Okay guys, so welcome back. We are here on classtools.net to use the fruit machine which they provide, and the way I'm going to format this is we've got numbers 1 to 10. I have 10 different scenarios. Whichever number the fruit machine lands on, we will go with that scenario. So let's first find out which number will be selected. So it has landed on number 5, which means we will go with scenario number 5. So I'm now going to go onto the PowerPoint and we will find out what that scenario entails. Okay guys, welcome back. Here we go. We have number 5. So let's find out what the scenario is. So one of your top 5 players is caught on a night out the day before the game against Bulgaria, which is our next game. not only do you drop him from the matchday squad, but you also decide not to pick him for the rest of international games in 2017. So that's a fairly big one. You know, we'll be missing someone very key, but thankfully, you know, the games won't mean a lot, but nevertheless, it will be annoying not to have them. So now I'm going to go back onto the fruit machine and find out which player it will be that has gone on the dreaded night out. Okay guys, so welcome back once again. Here we have, based on overall rating, the 5 best players in the England squad. Now obviously I'm hoping this is Raheem Sterling, because of the fact that he doesn't actually fit into the system. We aren't actually going to play him, therefore we won't really be missing anyone, but I've got a bad feeling it'll be someone like Kane or Ali, Walker, you know, because they are pretty pivotal to how he plays. So now let's find out who it is that we're missing the rest of the games in the international year of 2017. So guys, it is Dele Alli that will miss out the rest of our games. That's a real tough one to take. You know, he's part of the main spine, the main core of the team. We're going to have to find a replacement for him. So not looking forward to doing that, but nevertheless, this is the reason why we have scenarios to make sort of challenges like this. And if it was going to be anyone, I think, you know, it would be Dele Alli in real life, to be fair, after he's been getting up to his mischievous deeds recently. But yeah, on that note guys, it is time to finish off the video. So if you enjoyed this, if you want to see more, for a start off, let me know. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not already, as I really appreciate it. Like I say, this is a trial episode, and if it's received well, we're going to press on with it. Hopefully it is, because you know, I would like to do more of this, but if not, we'll look at something else. But yeah guys, on that note, if you've made it through this far, then thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And on that note, I've been Brom18, and I will see you soon.